Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. Today, as you may know, actually I don't know if this video is going to come out first or my other vlog, but basically I'm stranded at the Tokyo Haneda airport. If you want to know why, I'll include more of that in my Japan vlog. TLDR, I'm going to be here for a while and I needed to kill time. So we are here with the Q&A.
Let's get started.
What is your job? I work as an English teacher. That's it. When you deal with a big problem out of your control, how do you de-stress? I mean, the first thing is obviously vlogging. Vlogging really just helps me pick up an activity, also talk and get to know you guys, because vlogging isn't just about the filming and the editing, it's also about building this community of people and responding to you guys through interactions like comments, Insta DMs, and all of that stuff. So all of that is a very healing process for me. So shout out to you guys who are watching this. And all the people who respond to my stories and polls and send me DMs. Keep it going. This one is a little bit confusing. Would you do it all over again knowing what you know now? I'm assuming they're just talking about the way I've lived my life. I would say, well, people always have regrets and you can always think of things you would do better. In terms of some of the things I've given up on, I definitely would not have given up on them so early and I would have kept trying. Obviously, a big one is pursuing being a K-pop trainee/idol. Another thing, I probably would have tried to learn Korean earlier, especially in college. I did take some Korean classes, but my major was media studies, and to be honest, I'm doing literally nothing from that. I guess YouTube counts, but I'm not applying any of my media studies knowledge or skills, but I probably would have tried to either major or double major in Korean because it would have just been nice to have as a skill. Other than that, I feel like the things I've done have taught me very valuable lessons, such as moving to Korea by myself and going on this solo trip, even past experiences in high school, in college, all of the clubs I was involved in. I would say I wish I was a little bit less involved in those clubs and focused more of my energy towards finding my passion. But I did make a lot of valuable friends, memories, and I did learn a lot of things and gained some valuable skills from those experiences as well. So I can't totally say I would want to not have done any of that at all. But if I did focus more on what I wanted to do for work, I think I might have found YouTube a little bit faster. I actually did entertain the thought of doing YouTube my freshman year of college, but for some reason, I guess I just dove into other things really quickly and then I very much forgot about pursuing that. Like I even bought a camera and stuff, but I guess the cards were not in it for me. But it's okay. I've come here. I feel like this is where I'm supposed to be, I guess. Is it? Beach, mountain, or forest? I would say the
Beach, let's go get away.
because beaches are usually near civilization. I wouldn't say I'm truly an outdoorsy person, but the beach is my safest bet. And I don't like bugs. I feel like there's a lot more bugs in forests and mountains rather than beaches. And if there's something scary running towards you, the beach is a lot more open, so you can at least see where they're coming from. If you're in a forest or a mountain, anything can jump out at you with the cover of the trees or rocks. Favorite type of weather? I like it when it's cloudy, but not rainy. Rain makes me miserable. Not too humid, not too dry, not too hot. What's your favorite word?
You got me there.
I guess in Korean, I like the word bosong. It just sounds pleasant to my ears. Usually you say the word bosong in the context of bosong and it means fluffy. How are you doing? Well, this trip is very chaotic, but I've been learning a lot. Overall, great. If I could sum this trip up in 2 words, it would be comfortably uncomfortable. Future plans, I'm not entirely sure. Sort of debating whether I will stay in Korea or not. That really depends on my trip to America. Considering the state of America, there aren't really any opportunities for me there at the moment. most likely I would not go back to America. Korea is very comfortable, but then again, comfortable doesn't always mean it's good for you. I think if I left Korea now, there would be a lot of things that I have not done yet because I don't think I've really truly explored Korea and also worked very hard towards my original goals I had for Korea. So it would be kind of regretful just to fold all of that now. The final answer is IDK, but most likely staying in Korea, continuing YouTube, and trying to look for a passion that I could make a stable income from. What are some red flags to you in general and in relationships? Let's say, for example, something bad happens to the both of you and the first thing they care about is themselves and not you. Like, yes, you should love yourself, but I think it shows that person, especially if you're in some kind of romantic relationship, they would not be entirely willing to do anything for you. Like, definitely other things could interfere in the friendship or the relationship because they don't think you're important enough to be concerned about. That goes down the whole rabbit hole of being very selfish, hate,
Despise.
people who are... It's okay to love yourself and be confident, but then if you get way too cocky and that causes you to treat other people poorly, that really gets on my nerves. Favorite song currently? I would have to say, ever since watching that Boys Planet performance of Law, that song has been stuck in my head. I wouldn't say it's my favorite song, but then a song that I've been going back to a lot, Ditto. She has me in a chokehold. I cannot forget about her. Are you planning to go back to Singapore? As I mentioned in my Singapore vlog, I really regret not going to Marina Bay Sands. That is on my life bucket list, so eventually I will, but also I think I would need to have the financial means and be in a very comfortable position to be able to justify spending that much money to actually go. So that may be a while. What was it like filming with Eddie? If you guys don't know, I filmed a video with Edward Avila on his channel. Yeah, it was just a very casual, he did my makeup video. I would definitely say I'm more comfortable on camera now, but that point in my life, I feel like I was still getting back into YouTube again because I was on hiatus. Even before my hiatus, I was still very awkward on camera. That coupled with, I don't know, I just felt so nervous because I knew his channel has a lot of eyes on it. But I feel like he did a very good job of making me as comfortable as I possibly could be. I felt like I was watching, but then I was also inside because I'm so used to watching his videos. He's exactly the same. Nothing is different, him on camera and off camera. It was a very pleasant experience.
It was fun.
Are you going to visit the US again? Yes, I actually will be visiting the US. What's an ick you have? When people say, oh my gosh, I'm not that attractive. It's one thing to be insecure, and you say that because I totally understand that. People tell me I'm attractive, but it's still hard for me to believe them because I'm insecure about my looks. So that's why I say I'm actually not that attractive. But when people who, it is obvious, they know they get attention, they know they're hot, you can smell the fakeness from a mile away. They kind of manipulate the conversation into you telling them, oh, you're so attractive. And they're like,
Oh my gosh, no, I'm not.
like, you set that trap up for me and I fell for it just so you can get an ego boost. That is...
Maybe I'm like that.
Am I?
no. Am I part of the problem? This is why I need therapy. I don't think I'm like that because I genuinely do not think I'm... I don't know. What type of dog represents you? Well, all men are dogs, but I'm not a man, I'm a boy. Maybe a corgi because I got a fat ass. Just kidding. My ass is concave.
Non-existent.
A Maltese. They're so small and compact. Sometimes they're calm, but they can be little bitches when they want to be. Like if you are nice to me, if I like you, I will be calm and collected. But when I feel threatened or when I despise you, I will bark. What kind of dog do you guys think I am? Feel free to let me know in the comments because I honestly don't know that much about each type of dog and their personality. Food you crave but can't get in Korea. Well, you can get some of these things in Korea, but they're just not the same. It hits way different. Authentic Mexican food. Yes, there are a few good places in Korea, but at least no place I've been to hits the same as California tacos and burritos. Another thing is In-N-Out. I've heard there's an In-N-Out dupe that I have refused to try in Korea because no one can be the same as my baby girl,
In-N-Out.
And yes, maybe some of you think
In-N-Out's not that good. Shake Shack is so much better.
but I grew up on In-N-Out. It has a special place in my heart. And it's really cheap. Other things, in terms of general cuisines, I would say southern food. Things like hummus are very hard to find here. Savory, greasy things. They do have some of that here, but it's definitely a different kind of grease in America. The kind that makes you feel like you're about to gain 60 pounds in one bite, but at the same time, makes you feel like you're in heaven. They don't got any of that here in Korea. Food laws are what they should actually be. Honestly, like Trader Joe's food, there's something you just can't really emulate. What's your favorite movie? My go-to answer for a while was The Avengers. I would say the very last one. It's just a very good mix of action, comedy, plot. How did you get comfortable with talking in front of the camera? I would not say I'm 100% of the way there yet. It really clicked a lot more for me recently. The very basic answer that a lot of YouTubers will tell you is practice, practice, practice. There really is nothing better than constantly doing it. I say this sometimes throughout my videos in my channel, but you really need to make an effort to try to get 1% better each time, because if you do not make that effort, you will just stay stagnant. Each time you're filming something, make sure you try to do something different or try to focus on one thing. Maybe it's speaking louder or not saying the word like as many times or Another thing that has helped me, you have to treat the camera as your friend. It's a lot easier said than done because you're just staring at this bulbous eye. It's hard to connect this inanimate object with an audience. The more I post videos and the more interactions and comments I get from you guys, and the more I get to know each person through DMs and stuff, I feel like it's been a lot easier to treat the camera as though it is a real person, and it is, because I am talking to you guys. This is our portal to meet each other face to face. Once that clicked for me, it has become a lot easier. Another thing I guess is sometimes I do just blurt out my inner monologues that I think in my head, because typically I am someone who thinks a lot, I just don't say it out loud. So far, which has been your fave country you visited? I am not bagging on any of the other countries. This is a very hard decision for me. But in terms of just the overall experience, because a lot of the other things were definitely timing and circumstantial, I would say I had the best experience in Thailand. Granted, I didn't get to explore that much, but I did make the most friends there. And not gonna lie, they know how to party. That sounds very superficial, but food also was good, even though some of it was spent eating convenience store food and room service. Things were very affordable. Grabbing a taxi or a motorbike was definitely a lot cheaper. So that did really make things a little bit more comfortable. Not that I hate public transportation. I do love me some clean subways. But when you are tired and traveling, sometimes you don't want to deal with worrying about catching a bus. How did you feel about going to Korea? Korea is so comfortable. Yes, the learning curve is very high in the beginning, but that's the same for moving to any other country. But once you do get used to everything, it is very easy. Not entirely everything, but most things are easy. There's a lot to do in such a small radius. It is very convenient to get to those things. It is fast-paced. It feels like things are always constantly changing, which is something I really stand by because I'm personally someone who gets tired of doing the same thing very easily. Because of that, I feel like the constantly changing environment is a plus. It also does help that I know a decent amount of Korean, and I'm also Korean passing. I can't say my experiences are the same as people who look like foreigners. I think that does help make things a little bit easier for me. There is some nostalgia because I have been here before when I was younger. I love having an excuse to go out to eat. and I feel less guilty doing that here because sometimes it's actually cheaper to eat out in Korea versus buying groceries. I'm a sucker for convenience store food because after a long day, if I have not meal prepped, I just pick up a little toshirak from my nearest GS25 and I gobble that shit up and she's good for the $3 or $4 that I paid. What type of things do you want to do in the future? YouTube related or in general? Future, have discussed that a little bit. I guess I didn't really talk about possible hobbies. I am thinking a little bit about getting back into dance. If you guys didn't know this, I did dance in college and a little bit during high school. After seeing Boys Planet, I kind of want to get back into it. It's also a good excuse for me to find more of a community here. I mean, in Korea, not in Japan. I feel like, yes, I have made friends, but it's mostly through work. And sometimes you need friends at work and outside of work. That's my personal mantra. Another thing with YouTube, I would like to try to do more challenges. Vlogs are great, but it requires a lot of energy expenditure because you're out in public and you have to take so many different factors into account. Not that challenges aren't difficult, it is a lot easier when you have a general template. But I also do want to create more of my own challenges, things that people haven't done yet. Another just random thing, if I ever come to a point where I am insanely manic or I just want to break from my job, I have thought about working at a convenience store or a cafe. I have worked some customer service before, but I do kind of miss not having to interact with the same people for 3 hours at a time every week. At least when you work with the customer, you most likely will never see them again if you hate them. And if I work somewhere like a cafe, I feel like when you get to know the regulars, that would be so cool. You meet people and you establish this community. I guess not all cafes are like that, so I would probably want to work at one of those hole-in-the-wall hipster cafes with a really chill boss who invites you out to dinner and stuff or gives you free baked treats. Thank you so much for watching this Q&A. I know it was very spontaneous, but I just wanted to do something to cure my boredom while I'm stranded at this airport. Oh, and if you guys ever have more questions, feel free to just ask in the DMs or in the comments, and I will probably answer them in the next Q&A I do. Please like and subscribe if you want to see more of my content. I promise it will get better from here. And if it doesn't,
I'm Chris, my boss, baby Ricky.
I don't know. I will see you guys in my next video.